Morning! Guess who left the GoPro sitting in the charger and then drove all the way from home in a skilling? Shit. Today's going to be a short one, I think. It's all going to be filmed on the phone. Fuck it. Roll the intro. Okay, so I don't know why I get asked this so much, but here we go again. Mixing ground bait. To mix ground bait, you can either use your handies or you can use a drill with a whisk attachment. Today I'm not trying a new ground bait, that's wrong. I'm going to use a different ground bait to what I was using the last couple of occasions. Today I'm going to use Sonia Black Roach, a high hemp and coriander content. So we're going to try something a bit different. Normally I used last time I used the Census, the big black roach. Don't make it weird. It's amazing how adding big and black in front of something can make things all of a sudden weird. So don't do that. Get your mind out of the gutter. Be better than that, people. So, what do we start off? We start off with a bucket and some water. In the bucket, there is just simple black crumb. You buy this in a 25 kilo sack. Lasts a lot longer and it's a lot less cheaper than buying it in the bags individually. We then add some of our black roach. I'm going to add the whole bag to this. So, we add the whole bag to there. So, with the magic of editing, hold on. There we go. The mix is now mixed. Well, the bag is now in there. So now, we take our drill and we give the dry mix a bit of a mix, just to make sure it is incorporated all together. Then we add some water into there, and then we give it the old mix again until it looks like this.
A few moments later.
Now it looks like this. It is wet. If you squeeze it, it stays in the ball, but if you just add a little bit of pressure, it breaks down. Now, if I was in a match and I wanted to be really, really good, I would go to my van and take out Mr. Riddle and then push all of that through this so that there's no big lumps. But it's not a match. I'm out here talking shit to you people, so let's get this loaded into swim feeders and let's try and catch some fish. Right, so on my left hand side I have my ground bait that is now perfect consistency. The thing with ground bait, you can always add more water to it. You can't take water out of it. For on the hook and feeding today, we have hemp seed, casters, sweet corn, worms and maggots. This is my storm shield. It folds down. As you can see, there is water on it. Wet maggots are escape artists. They will escape if they are wet. Maggots, believe it or not, are actually pretty spectacular little creatures. They're basically nature's garbage people, cleanup people, bin men, so to speak. They will take a rotting corpse and reduce it to bone matter inside about 8 months, if they're left to do their thing at an ambient temperature. They can survive long periods of time with no oxygen. They live in some pretty disgusting shit. Literally. When they are wet, they will crawl up walls. They will crawl up anywhere. You will discover that maggots will find every nook, cranny and space that you didn't even know were nooks, crannies or spaces. For example, in a vehicle, if maggots escape I guarantee you for about 6 months after that, you will be bothered with blue bottles inside your vehicle because maggots escaped. And you think you got them all? You didn't. Trust me, you didn't. Just casting in, just getting set up. I've got some drizzle, but the drizzle's meant to burn off today. So, hey ho. Fishing a standard running rig with a 4-foot hook length on a size 10 Camsan animal hook with 4 maggots. I'm not gonna go anything. I probably might go to a size 12. Size 10 was the spool I picked up, so I went with size 10. But this is where we are today. Down there, on this side of the bank, is Dolands Ring. You've seen me fishing there before, and there's the marina. So yeah, let's see how today goes.
20 minutes later.
We're catching fish. So far 3 fish. None big, but fish. I suppose I should long-term review on the old Preston extremity reel. I've had it now for a while, and I've not been well, you know, there's been a lot more good than been bad, put it that way. Good points. It's taken a kick in and it's still on the go. Bad points. When I first got it, the line clips were a bit sharp. They frayed some of the braid. Now when you're paying money for feeder braid that's quite expensive, you know, the last thing you want is line clips that's going to fray it. So, apart from that little man, that went away very quickly though, because I kind of, you know, I took some thicker mono and clip in and clip out a load of times, and it kind of softened it down. It's funny, it didn't fray or leave a mark on the mono, but there seemed to be something on it that just plucked little bits of the braid. And if you're fishing at distance, the last thing you want is your braid to be kind of separated and plucking. Trust me, the zebra mussels will do that enough for you. But no, it's been a nice enough day. The wind's a bit chilly though, and the drizzle has progressed to rain, so I've had to put on the waterproofs. I am in the market for new waterproofs, so I'll be modelling new ones shortly. Just gone 12 o'clock. Still only 3 fish. The wind, if anything's getting a bit chillier. But at least the rain's kind of backed off for a little while. Not much else to tell you, really. Just sat watching this tip. Because I forgot the GoPro and everything's going to be done to hand, so actual footage of me catching fish probably isn't going to happen. Oh, that's a bite. The wife was working last night, so I didn't get to leave the house until she arrived home from work. So I got down to here about 9 o'clock in the morning, mixed the ground bait, got set up, started fishing about 9:30, and in that period of time I've had 2 crack-offs where the hook length and the back cast has managed to snag something and be taken away. That's the problem when you're fishing on disabled. The council, Oma Enniskillen Council, you know, if I honestly think if they had a brain, they would be dangerous. They put these rails on for the disabled folk. Okay, that's fine, that's cool. But then they also put like a fucking handrail on the fucking jetty that snags everything, catches absolutely everything. So they put something here for a disabled angler, but they build it in a way that makes the disabled angler's life harder. well done, Enniskillen, Fermanagh, Omagh District Council. I wouldn't have a positive relationship with the council here in Enniskillen. I'll be very honest about you with that. During the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the only people that came to Enniskillen really to do anything were the anglers. And let's be honest, in the 70s and 80s and 90s, guys coming from the mainland to fish here, that they did, sometimes it wasn't comfortable for them. You had English guys, and there was a subsect of the community that live here that was very anti the English, shall we say, in a period that became known as the Troubles. Well, it was difficult for somebody with an English accent to kind of come here and go to certain places without attracting the ire of certain people. You know, so sometimes it was hard for them because they instantly assumed the English accent, you must be in the British Armed Forces. Therefore, you are the enemy, apparently. You know. So the only people that came to Enniskillen that really spent any money were the anglers, the match anglers, course anglers. And Enniskillen Council at the time was very happy for the match anglers to come here and spend money and fish the festivals. You know. Now Enniskillen Council is making life harder for anglers by putting bollards up along the side of roads to stop anglers parking their cars there. Closing access off to other locations so that where you used to be able to drive right down and literally you caused no problems, you drive right down to where you're fishing. They've now made that access, they stopped the access so you can't get down there. Short memories. Very short memories. When people were prepared to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds to come here and fish in a competition. And spend money drinking, and spend money eating, and spend money for hotels. That kept this place afloat for a long time. To then, today, where you have they seem to actively go out of their way to make life difficult for anglers. Now, of course, anyone that's watching this, that's from that organisation of the council, will stand up and say, look at us, we stand up and we sponsor these competitions. Really? Under the last 5 years, Enniskillen Council has withdrawn access to 2 venues in Enniskillen. They allowed the place to get into disrepair, they allowed the jetties to fall into the lakes, and eventually it pissed off the landowners that much. The landowners went, no more access. Now, of course, Enniskillen Council will argue, well, it's somebody else's fault, as they always do. But what can you do? You know? And don't think I forgot about you, Omagh Council. Years ago it used to be Omagh, then it was Enniskillen, there was 2 different councils. Now there's one super council. And the super council in Omagh decided that building a weir at the bottom of the town bus depot was the thing to do. Through no consultation with any angling group, they built a weir that stopped salmon and trout and eels and lamprey and coarse fish migrating up the rivers and down the rivers. The weir has no purpose, but it's a weir. It doesn't feed a factory, doesn't feed any sort of industry. It's just a weir. Same idiots decided to build a hydroelectric plant on the River Erne, and they built it that the river, for the thing to work, the river would need to be in winter flood conditions all year round. They built it approximately 2 feet higher than it should have been. But here's the kicker. See, when it was running, they built it between 2 weirs, 2 parts of the weirs. When it was running, it drained the weir pool down to bare bones. So literally there's photographs of people walking around on the stones, picking up the trout, flipping and flopping on the ground, because the hydro dam sucked all the water out. So yeah, see, when people tell you that hydroelectricity is clean and it's green and it's all that shit, punch them in the face, because they're fucking lying to you. Yay, that's what I need in front of me. Keep going, dickhead.
More moments later.
Weather's chilled out a bit. No longer getting the drizzle is turning to rain, and the wind is kind of calmed down, which is nice. Just had a chat with one of the fellas that I've actually met through angling. A good guy. Robert was down fishing for roach and for not roach, fishing for perch and lure fishing basically. I'm now up to 5 fish. It has been slow. Still keeping the feed good in, but it's slow. So I'm actually thinking about knocking it on the head for the day. Because did I mention it is slow? Slow. What you can see down that way is Cleenish Island. Cleenish Island is actually pretty good, but there's guys on Cleenish Island, so I can't fish Cleenish Island. Down there, that is the marina. You've seen me fish the marina before. I was looking at different waterproofs, so if anyone has any sort of like recommendations for like salopets and a jacket, this one here is a Preston one, but I've had it for like 5, 6 years now. And the tape liners, this sort of stuff here, where it's been taped, the seams, they've all gone on the salopets, and they're going in the jackets. Like the armpits for some reason don't seem to fucking last. The crotch doesn't last on the salopets. You know, maybe it's because there's like, I don't know, big balls, maybe it's worn them out. But who knows. So I'm in the market for some new clothing. I've had a look so far at the Fox stuff, the actual carp stuff, and I've got a set of the Fox Tri Aquas fucking something or other. Basically it's the camo range stuff. That I'm going to plan to use more so for the winter, for the pike. It's not lined at all. It's just literally the same sort of material as this here. So it's just a windproof and a waterproof membrane. You'd obviously wear your normal clothes underneath it. My normal sort of get up for going fishing, like normally, even in the winter time. Like if it's the winter time, I just wear more layers. When I'm going fishing now, it's like normally it's a t-shirt, a hoodie, and a pair of jogging bottoms. You know, you want something that you can kind of like get out of and stripped out of when you go home, because they're normally stinking. You know, especially if you had a day catching fish all day. Well, today they're alright, because I've not caught that many fish. But if you spend the day catching bream, you know, your clothes going to be stinking. So I would get to the back door of my house and just strip and just leave the stuff at the washing machine. You know, try to keep all the mess in the one area. I'm still not even getting bites. The coriander mix may not have worked. Bugger. But I've also ordered one of my friends, he owns a shop in England, he owns a tackle shop in England, and he was kind of saying to me, you know, try this. This is like a windproof Preston Innovations hoodie fleece thing. Normally they were like, RRP was like £60-70, or £69, so it's just £70. Then he goes, I have one that's been returned, not because there's any damage to it, but because it's been worn, you know, do you want it? And I went, well, define how much worn it was. He goes, well, it was sent out to the dude. The dude put it on. The dude posted it back to him and says, no, he doesn't want it. So he said to me, he goes, I don't think, it still has all the tags, the plastic tags, all sort of shit, so it's been sent somewhere else, been tried on by someone else. And he done me a bit of a deal on it, so he sent it my way. It's Preston Innovations. It's 3XL. That should fit me. You know, I don't understand the clothing sizes. You know, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2". I'm about, last I weighed, I was nearly just shy of 22 stone. So I'm a big guy. I can't help that. Well, I suppose I could lose weight. but then it wouldn't be the peak of physical performance that you see right now. But this suit here is 3XL. It fits. It's plenty of room. Everything's cool. I had Drennan Salopets that were 3XL, and they fit. They were pretty cool. They do a size bigger again. Again, 3XL fit, so why would you get bigger? The thing I didn't like about the Drennan ones, for some fucking bizarre reason, the material where they stitched it across the crotch and the knees just seemed to fucking go to bits. So I didn't get the Drennan stuff again. But I'm happy enough with this Preston stuff. It's lasted. It's just coming to the end of its life now. Nothing lasts forever. So we need some new gear. I've had a look at the Matrix. Matrix and Fox are the same fucking company. I've had a look at the Matrix stuff. It looks okay. So I might go there. But before I go anywhere, I'll have a look at the Preston stuff again, because I quite like Preston Innovations. And I'll see what their salopets and their jacket suit are like. It's not been the best day. It's been a bit slow.
1 hour later.
What a beautiful day. Oh. See? Lovely skies. Beautiful day. Still only 6 fish. At this rate, I don't think I'm going to throw my back out lifting them. It's coming up to 3 o'clock. I actually think it's about... I think I might be flogging a dead horse here, so I might... well... Disappointing day. Not a lot of fish. It has... crept up to 4 o'clock. It's about 10 to 4. I'm going home. Disappointing. Hard days fishing. But from talking to the guys that were below me and the guy that's up there, they're having equally as much joy as I'm having. So I'm going to show you a picture now of what I caught. Magic, isn't it? That sort of catch would have been awesome in the depths of winter, you know, when I was looking for maybe fresh bait for pike, but right now, a bit slow, a bit crap. I wish all the guys this week that's here for the Classic Festival, I wish them all the best. Tight lines to you all. I hope there's some decent weights that come out this year, because this last couple of years the weights haven't been the best. So everyone that's fishing the Classic and the Mini and the Mahans and then the King of the Erne, I hope you all have a good festival. Welcome to Enniskillen, guys. Enjoy yourselves. I'm not sure if I'm going to be in Enniskillen fishing next weekend. I first of all have to find out what my wife's doing work-wise, because if she's working, she works nights. She's a nurse, so if she's working, then I have to wait till she gets back to the house. I can't exactly leave a 10-month-old baby, you know, sat on in a living room in the ball pit, left for like an hour. Not going to do that. So I have to wait till she gets home. But if she's not working, then I'll take I'll get early. But then again, it depends. That's weird, because if I'm sitting at home, or if I'm sitting at home, it's a bit strange. Locally to me in Oma, nowhere I can get bait, so I have to travel down to Enniskillen, which is only 28 miles, but I have to travel down to Enniskillen. The fish and tackle and bait shop is only open, you know, business hours, so I'm working from like 8 to 5 every day, so trying to get down to Enniskillen just to buy bait is a stretch. It's a stretch. So it means having to ask people that live in Enniskillen to pick stuff up for me, or ask my wife if she would travel to Enniskillen. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, and other times I just have to bite the bullet and arrive down here for 8:30 when the place opens and buy bait. Hold on 1 second. dirty big mosquito or a bug that would likely bite me. It's now a smear on my thumb. Anyway, the matches on the carp pond, they've started up again for the summer. I'm going to try and see if I can get maybe a couple of half days off, at least aim for kind of like one a month so I can turn up and fish the matches. It's with, the old guys that I know. It's not a really serious competition, it's more a laugh. It's good crack. So I will see if I can get time off for that. I want to say thank you to the people who's sent me stuff via the Ko-fi thing, the buy me a coffee Ko-fi thing. Again, cheers guys. I didn't expect it. So thank you to everyone that's doing that sort of thing. Still getting to grips with the new computer, still getting to grips putting video together. The new software is a learning curve. I'm using DaVinci, and it's a bit of a learning curve, whereas before I was using the Windows Movie Maker and it was dead simple, and you could just put your videos together and get them knocked up onto YouTube. YouTube has still demonetized most of my videos. I don't really understand why. I have a rough idea. In fact, that's a lie. I've got a fair idea why, because I mentioned the unnamed virus from unspecified geographical location. But that, and I frequently say what I think. The way I look at it, this is the channel that I'm putting up here. I do this for the hobby. It's a healthy mix of about 60 to 70% fishing. The rest is just me talking bullshit. Sometimes it's about the modern day we live in, the clown world we find ourselves in. Other times it's more serious. It's like it's like reach out and look after your friends. Because sometimes people need a hand. So there's like a mix of stuff, but it's a channel that I kind of say what I think. Unfortunately, what I think tends to run against the narrative that especially like social media companies like Facebook and YouTube, and I've started posting more on the Twitter for this fishing channel, because they banned my personal Twitter because I spoke to Stan Collymore in a manner that bullied him. Yes, that's Stan Collymore, the professional footballer who punched the living bejesus out of his wife at the time, Eureka Johnson. And Stan Collymore didn't like being called a wife-beating lowlife, so he reported me to Facebook, and I got banned for bullying the wife-beating lowlife. Let's hope that when Elon Musk takes on Twitter, something else happens. At the minute, I'm kind of very, very happy that Elon Musk has took over Twitter. A lot of the, the fucking blue-haired weirdos that are, and anyone that turns around to me and says that their pronouns are whatever, or I identify, that's pretty much you are pretending it is adult playtime for you. In the real world, I am not going to pander to your delusions. You can identify as however you want. You're still going to get called a man or a woman. That's not misgendering you. That's not dead naming you. Apparently that's a thing. If you see a man that looks like a man and you say, "Excuse me, man," then you could be arrested and done for hate speeching and transphobias. Whatever happened to reality? Did you miss the days when you could tell a fucking joke? Anyway, not going to ramble on too much. I'm going to drive home, and I will see you all next time, guys.